Dr. John Pemberton, a pharmacist from Atlanta, Georgia, created Coca Cola in May 1886. The Coca Cola company claims that Pemberton created the syrup for the well-known beverage, which was tasted at the neighborhood Jacob's Pharmacy and rated outstanding. Using syrup and carbonated water, a new delicious and refreshing beverage was made. In his backyard, Pemberton created the renowned Coca-Cola mix in a three-legged brass kettle. Frank Robinson, the bookkeeper for Pemberton, suggested the name Coca-Cola. The name Coca-Cola was simple to come up with because the syrup's recipe asked for both coca leaf extract and cola nut caffeine. Robinson, who was renowned for his impeccable handwriting, believed that using two C's in the name would stand out in advertising. As a result, Cola changed to Cola, giving rise to the brand name. Robinson is also credited with designing the first scripted version of the iconic Coca-Cola logo, which has flowing letters. On May 8, 1886, the soda fountain at Jacob's Pharmacy in Atlanta opened its doors to the public for the first time. The soft drink was marketed in quantities of about 9 per day. The first year's sales came to around $50 overall. The first year of operation, however, wasn't very successful since Pemberton lost money because the drink's production cost him more than $70. Asa Candler, a different Atlanta-based chemist and businessman, paid Pemberton $2,300 in 1887 to sell him the Coca-Cola recipe. Sadly, Pemberton passed away a short time thereafter. Coca-Cola became one of the most well-liked fountain beverages in America by the late 1890s, largely as a result of Candler's vigorous sales promotion. The Coca-Cola company expanded syrup sales by more than 4,000% between 1890 and 1900 under Candler's leadership. Although the Coca-Cola company disputes this assertion, historical data suggests that, up until 1905, the soft drink, which was marketed as a tonic, probably contained cocaine extracts in addition to the caffeine-rich cola nut. According to Live Science, Candler started removing cocaine from the recipe in the early 1900s, and traces of cocaine might have been present in the well-known drink until 1929, when scientists were able to perfect the removal of all psychoactive components from the coca leaf extract. Even though cocaine wasn't deemed illegal until 1914. The success of Coca-Cola was largely due to advertising, and by the turn of the century, the beverage was available throughout the United States and Canada. At about the same time, the business started distributing syrup to independent bottlers authorized to sell the beverage. The American soft drink industry is still structured according to this idea today. Residents of both small towns and large cities sipped carbonated drinks at the neighborhood soda fountain or ice cream parlor up until the 1960s. The soda fountain counter, which was frequently located in the drugstore, functioned as a gathering spot for individuals of all ages. The soda fountain, which was frequently associated with lunch counters, became less common as commercial ice cream, bottled soft drinks, and fast food restaurants gained popularity. The trade's secret new Coke recipe was introduced on April 23, 1985, in response to dwindling sales brought on by a cola industry that was becoming more competitive. The new formula, however, was viewed as a flop. The new recipe was met with a combative, some would even say negative, response from Coca-Cola lovers, and within 3 months, the original cola that had won the public's hearts and palates were brought back. With new branding for Coca-Cola Classic, the traditional cola flavor returned. Despite being renamed Coke 2 in 1992, New Coke continued to be sold until it was ultimately phased out in 2002. Coca-Cola is a Fortune 500 corporation that is publicly listed as of 2017, with annual sales of more than $41.3 billion. The corporation employs 146,200 people, and more than 1 billion drinks are consumed daily from its products. Things go better with Coke, a successful advertising campaign from the Coca-Cola company and its advertising firm McCann Erickson, was discontinued in 1969 and replaced with the It's the Real Thing campaign. The new campaign contained what turned out to be one of the most well-liked advertisements ever made, starting with a hit song. Bill Backer, the creative director for the Coca-Cola campaign, came up with the idea for the song I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke. I could see and hear a song that treated the entire globe as if it were a personal person the singer would like to help and get to know, he said, describing the song to the songwriters Billy Davis and Roger Cook. I know the ending line, but I'm not sure how the lyrics should begin. I'd like to buy the globe a Coke and keep it company, he wrote on a paper napkin, which he then ripped out. I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke was sent to radio stations around the country on February 12, 1971. It immediately failed. Most Coca-Cola bottlers refused to pay for airtime because they detested the advertisement. The audience took no notice of the few times the advertisement ran. Backer convinced McCann to persuade Coca-Cola management that the advertisement still had potential but required a visual component. The business ultimately allowed more than $250,000 for production, one of the largest expenditures ever allocated to a television ad at the time. When the television commercial I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke first aired in the US in July 1971, the reaction was swift and dramatic. By November of that year, more than 100,000 letters regarding the advertisement had been sent to Coca-Cola and its bottlers and dramatic. By November of that year, more than 100,000 letters regarding the advertisement had been sent to Coca-Cola and its bottlers. The song was in such high demand that many individuals called radio stations to request that the commercial be played. With the audience, I'd Like to Buy the World a Coke struck a deep chord. It consistently ranks among the top ads in advertising surveys, and more than 30 years after the song's composition, the sheet music is still in high demand. In Bellis, Mary, the finale of the popular television series Mad Men featured the advertisement, which served as a tribute to the campaign's popularity over 40 years after it initially debuted. Tell us in the comments what your favorite facts was from this video. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell for more.